Welcome to part 2. We are now continuing on to find the area of the circle. So we found the circumference. We said that we multiply the radius, which is 6, by 2, and then we take whatever we find and we multiply that by 3.14. To find the area, it's a very similar process. Only now we're going to multiply the radius. Instead of multiplying it by 2, we are going to multiply it by itself. So 6 times itself, 6. And whatever we find here, I'm going to multiply by 3.14. Okay, so let's do that. How much is 6 times 6? Specifically here, 6 times 6 is 36. So I would have to do 3.14 times 36. Let's make that a little bigger. Let's do this one more multiplication just to remind you how multiplication with decimal numbers works. 6 times 4, 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 that I carried over makes 8. 6 times 3 is 18. Put a 0 beneath the 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 3. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 that I carried over is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. I add 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 3 is 11. 8 and 4 makes 12, and 1 that I carried over makes 13. 9 and 1 makes 10, and 1 that I carried over is 11. Is this correct? Have I done this correctly? No. This should be a 2. Sorry about that. So if that's a 2, this is a 0. And again, we say how many numbers are to the right of my decimal point. That's 1, 2 numbers. So I would have to take the decimal point starting from here and go 1, 2 spots to the right. It goes beneath the 3 and the 0, between the 3 and the 0. So I'd have 113.04. So the area of my circle, the entire circle, would be 113.04. That would be the correct answer. Now, let's do some examples. Of some very specific problems. Let's say I give you a circle, like this one. I take this line, goes right across it. And then this line, and then this line. Would you look at that? That made a triangle. And I say this line, this entire line, is, let's say it's 16. Okay? And then this line here, the medium side of the triangle, is, let's say it's 10. And this side, the small side of the triangle, is 4. Now, these numbers are not realistic. They wouldn't actually make triangle, but let's say for the sake of the problem that they are. And I asked you, what is the area in red? If you look at it, it seems like I had the entire circle and then I cut out this white part. I cut it out. So it's like I cut out, I took out, I subtracted the area of the triangle. So what I would do is I would need to find the area of the circle and then subtract the area of the triangle. How would I find the area of the circle though? I don't know the radius. Well, here, this line passes through the center. And I have to think that, well, since this entire thing is 16, this needs to be its half. What's the half of 16? That's 8. So to find the area of the circle, I would need to multiply the radius by itself, meaning 8 times 8, and then multiply that by 3.14, right? Like we said before. Now, how much is 8 times 8? 8 times 8 is 64. And let's times that by 3.14. What we would get is 200. I'm not going to do this vertically now. You can do that by yourself if you want to check that it's correct. But we already did 2 examples. I think you get the idea. I don't want to use up your time. So that would be 200.96. And what's the area of the triangle? Well, we said multiply the small side and the medium side and then take the half. So that would be 4 times 10. And then whatever I find, divide by 2. 4 times 10 is 40. Divided by 2 is 20. So what I would have to do in order to find the red part here is I would have to subtract the area of the triangle from the area of the circle. That means I would have to do 200.96, take away 20. But 20 is not a decimal number. How do I subtract a normal number, an integral, from a decimal number? If you remember, we showed this last year, and we've actually done this a few times throughout the year. What we need to do when we have subtraction that involves decimal numbers is that the comma of one number needs to be beneath the comma of the other number. Now 20 has no comma, so what I'm going to do is put a comma here, say this is 20.0, 20 comma 0. That's the same thing as 20. It's just that now it's easier for me to place it. The comma needs to go here, beneath the other comma. Here, there's nothing here, so I can just put in a 0. And I would do the subtraction now very easily. The comma just comes down here like it took the elevator. And that's my result, 180.96. And there you go. That's how I would find the area of the red part. That's my answer. So that's all for today. Have a good weekend and see you again on Monday.